Now we have multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions are the heart of listening part 3. Multiple choice questions are unpredictable. They say men and weather are unpredictable or women and weather? Women and weather are unpredictable. कोई समझ ही नहीं आती है. All right. Okay. Now let's go on. Multiple choice questions are unpredictable. They might appear in part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and sometimes in Ielts listening part 5. Okay? Only 4 parts. Yeah. Just झटका दिया थोड़ा सा. है ना भाई, छठे में भी आ जाता है. Part 6 में भी आ जाता है कभी कभी. So there are 4 parts only and each part contains 12 questions. Okay? 10 questions. Good. 10 होते हैं exactly. But like I say this reverse technique so that you guys understand that. Achha ji, let's take a start. Multiple choice question has 2 parts. Part 1 question statement. Part 2 options. Right? And all the trickery is in the options. Question statement is simple, but the tricks are in the options. They will give you half minute to read all these questions. So you got to do skim reading. Skim reading means reading quickly. You're not reading, underlining the words and all that. Okay, sometimes options are long, sometimes they are short. We'll do all these questions, so I'll tell you how to deal with these options. So, they will speak about all 3 options in any order. Sometimes they miss one option as well. If you guys want to improve your score in multiple choice questions, instead of looking for the right answer, learn to eliminate the wrong answer. Learn to cross the wrong answer. Once you learn to cross the wrong answer, jo bach jayega, that will be the right answer. Right? Whatever you are left with. So let's do it. Question number 21. Dave Hadley, it's the name. Dave Hadley says that computer system has. Now what is it that computer system has? That will be your answer. Too many users. Okay, now listen. The options which are wrong about those options, they speak oppositely, they speak negatively, they change the tense, right? For example, Dave Hadley says that computer system has. Has is which tense? Present tense. So if he says, well, we used to have a large number of users in the past, but now there are extremely limited users. So, A, too many users. Is it the answer? No. It'll be wrong. Understand that? Option B, never worked well. Never worked well means kabhi sahi nahi chala. If he says, in the beginning it worked really well and fulfilled our needs, but now it doesn't work well. So never worked well means ever since it was established, it never worked well. Understand? So you need to understand these options. In actual exam, you will not have that much time. So you need to practice. Practice listening in this way. Option C, become outdated. Now if he says outdated, what are the words for outdated? It's old, right? It's outdated, or this technology is old, right? So it's that. Now I play the audio, listen, and it's going to be one of these options.
Hello, I'm Randy Agotra from the Technologies Department.
Ah, yes, good. I'm Dave Hadley. Thanks for coming to see me.
That's okay. I believe you want us to do some work for you.
Yes, that's right. I'm responsible for student admissions to the college, and I use a computer system to help process student enrolments and to do the timetabling. But it really doesn't suit the way we work these days. It's over 10 years old, and although it was fine when it was first introduced, it's just not good enough now.
It's over 10 years old, although it was fine when it was first introduced. So B, never worked well, although it was fine when it was introduced. It's not B. Over 10 years old, become outdated. So answer is C. And they did not say anything about the number of users. So the correct answer is C. And on your answer sheet, you will write C. Okay? Let's go on. Question number 22. Main problem with computer system is that, now listen, in multiple choice, whenever they use the word main, major, big, or anything like that, they will talk about some minor things. For example, we sometimes have this issue, but that's not our main one, or we are not concerned about it. Sometimes we have this problem, but we are not worried about it. At the moment, our main concern is, and then there'll be the answer. So what are the issues? Too slow. What is for too slow? When computer is slow, yeah, it sometimes it freezes, or sometimes it's very slow, sometimes it doesn't respond immediately. When you double click, it doesn't respond immediately. Option B, stops working. What is stops working? It hangs, exactly. Stops working is hangs. And if he says, we think it has stopped working, but then it continues, means it does not hang. Option C, displays incorrect data. Incorrect data means wrong information. So if he says the main problem is it shows incorrect information, then C is the right answer. If he says the main problem is it's very slow, it takes ages to go from one Windows or one screen to another one, then A can be the right answer. And if he says it hangs in the process, then B is going to be the right answer, right? Now let's go on.
Okay, what problems are you experiencing?
Well, 20 years ago, the college was quite small and we didn't have the numbers of students or tutors that we have now.
So the system can't handle the increasing volumes.
Well, there's a lot more data now, and it sometimes seems the system has crashed, but in fact, it just takes ages to go from one screen to the next.
Right.
It sometimes sounds the system is crashed. Crashed is stops working. He said it sometimes sounds, but it moves from one to other screen, it takes ages. So the order in which they spoke is C, B, A, and the correct answer is A, absolutely. I play it again.
Okay, what problems are you experiencing?
Well, 20 years ago, the college was quite small and we didn't have the numbers of students or tutors that we have now.
So the system can't handle the increasing volumes.
Well, there's a lot more data now, and it sometimes seems the system has crashed, but in fact, it just takes ages to go from one screen to the next.
Right.
Okay, it takes ages, that means it is too slow. Takes ages and slow. Now let's go on. Question number 23. Timetabling has become an issue because. This multiple choice question is about the reason. Timetabling has become an issue because. Now what's the reason? Option A. Now see, these options are long. When the options are long, you need to focus nouns, verbs and adjectives. So they say here, there is not enough time for anyone to do it. Not enough time. Now look here. For not enough time, they might say everyone is busy, or no one has time to do it, right? Not enough time. Option B, system does not handle course options. Just underline not handle course options. Every course has options, so system does not handle course options means not handle course options. The courses are constantly changing, so courses constantly changing. That's it. Now, what is the reason? Because means reason. Let's see.
Is that the only problem?
Well, that's the main one, but there are others. In the past, doing the timetabling was quite simple, but now we have a lot more courses, and what's made it complicated is that many of them have options.
Right, but the system should allow you to include those.
Well, no, it doesn't. It was supposed to.
B. System should allow to include those. The word those goes back to options. Right? Said courses have options. System should allow you to include those. But he says it doesn't. So, system does not handle course options. B is the right answer. Listen again.
Is that the only problem?
Well, that's the main one, but there are others. In the past, doing the timetabling was quite simple, but now we have a lot more courses, and what's made it complicated is that many of them have options.
Many of them. Them is for courses and options. right?
Right, but the system should allow you to include those.
System should allow you to include those. Those means options. Options, yeah. Now those is for options.
Well, no, it doesn't. It was supposed to.
No, it doesn't. Mean does not handle course options. Okay? Now let's go on. Question number 24. To solve timetabling issue, Randhir suggests that. Now you will listen to Randhir carefully. He is going to suggest something. Option A, students should create their own timetable. Underline students create own timetable. For that, they might use the word students can create their timetable on their own. Or students can make their own timetable. Or students can select their own timetable. Option B, Dave should have someone to assist him. Like he can say, you can have an assistant. Alright, they can be an assistant. Or for example, option A, students should create their own timetable. If he says, you can solve this problem if you allow the students to create their own timetable, but I know it is not possible. So A is not the right answer. If he says, I know it is not possible, I know it cannot be managed, I know you can't do it now. So they speak about one option and at the end, they sometimes use the word nor, unless, until and all that. So, option C, number of courses should be reduced. If he says you should reduce the number of courses, so then this can be the answer. Now listen.
And a few years ago, we did ask someone from the technologies department to fix it, but they never seemed to have the time.
Are there any other issues with the system?
Well, I've been given extra responsibilities, and so I have even less time to do the timetabling. If there was anything you could do, Randhir, to make the process more efficient...
Now answer will come. Because Randhir is going to suggest. Before that he was just talking. Now you can do anything to improve it and all that. Now listen carefully.
That would be really helpful.
Well, it sounds like you could do with an assistant, but that's obviously not possible. So what about having an online system that students can use to do their scheduling?
How would that work?
Well, it may mean less choice for students, but we could create a fixed schedule of all the courses and options, and they could then view what was available.
And work it out for themselves. That sounds great.
Okay, so...
A, work it out for themselves. Themselves means student. They can do it, they mean student. This is called referencing. So the words like they, themselves, those, these, you need to see what do they mean by these, those, themselves and all that. The correct answer is A, students should create their own timetable. He said you can make do with an assistant, but that's obviously not possible. When obviously not possible, that is not the answer. So the correct answer is for 24, it's option A. Now, we have question number 25. Randhir says that new system may. Now, they will talk about new system and again you will listen to Randhir carefully. Randhir says new system may need to be trialed. Trialed means tested. Option B, still have problems. So, underline still have problem. It's already short. And B, economical. Economical means it will save some money. It will cost you less. Right? You can save some money in the long run. So new system need to be trialed, still have problems or save some money.
We'll need to decide whether or not to improve the existing system or to build a completely new system.
Well, I'd much prefer to have a new system. Quite frankly, I've had enough of the old one.
Okay, that'll probably take longer, although it may save you money in the long run.
It'll take longer, although it'll save you money in the long run. So to be more economical. Economical means save you money in the long run. Understand? This is what we call synonyms. Play it again? Sure.
We'll need to decide whether or not to improve the existing system or to build a completely new system.
Well, I'd much prefer to have a new system.
Now this is Randhir. I'd much prefer to have a new system. Now what does he say? Because it's mentioned here, Randhir says.
Quite frankly, I've had enough of the old one.
Okay, that'll probably take longer, although it may save you money in the long run.
It may save you money in the long run. It will take longer, but it may save you money in the long run, so more economical. Question number 26. Improving the existing system will take. Will take means duration. If they improve the existing system, it will take a few weeks, 4 or 5 months, 9 months. Now this question is technical. Focus few weeks. For few weeks, they might use a couple of weeks. For 4 or 5 months, they might say it may take a quarter of a year. Quarter of a year has 3 months actually. Now it's going to be something more than that. And 9 months. So let's see.
When were you hoping to have this in place?
Well, it's January now, and the new intake of students will be in September. We need to start processing admissions in the next few weeks, really.
Well, it will take more than a few weeks, I'm afraid. As an initial estimate, I think we'll be looking at April or May to improve the existing system, but for a new system, it would take at least 9 months. That would be October at the earliest.
So, C, 9 months is for the new system. Right? They said system will take. The correct answer is B, 4 or 5 months. Now, let me tell you how technical this question is. They are starting from January. January to April. Now, September. No. Yeah, but actually, then he said January and then April or May. So, April or May means 4 or 5 months. January, February, March, April or May. So, 4 to 5 months. Now, listen again. Focus. Very technical.
When were you hoping to have this in place?
Well, it's January now, and the new intake of students will be in September.
New intake will be in September. Then he says,
We need to start processing admissions in the next few weeks, really.
in the next few weeks. So, now listen what he says.
Well, it will take more than a few weeks.
It will take more than a few weeks, I'm afraid. A cannot be the answer. Now you are left with B and C. Now let's go on.
I'm afraid. As an initial estimate, I think we'll be looking at April or May to improve the existing system.
April or May to improve the existing system. It's January now. April or May, that means 4 to 5 months. And now listen.
But for a new system, it would take at least 9 months.
For a new system, it will take 9 months. So 9 months for new system. Existing system, January to April or May. All right.